viewers, more especially my friends, candidates who are in a forced holiday. I know it's not our making that you are in a holiday today, but because of the situation, as you know, science has gone far, you know that. So being there, let's still move together so that you don't miss what you are supposed to be having this time. So science, since science is wide, we are not going to go through topics. We are just going to do what we call revision. Maybe we go through different questions as we give responses, what is expected, and what you are supposed to write. Viewers, most especially my friends candidates, you know what normally fail us is we sometimes hurry through the question. But I begin with maybe some pieces of advice to you candidates who are going to write PRE at the end of this year, which is most sometimes or most of the time November. So whenever you enter an examination, you need to first read the question before you answer it. And you read the question, you understand before you attack that question. We have a problem of question interpretation. If you cannot interpret the question very well, automatically you have to fail it. So you have to first read it several times so that you interpret it very well. Then you have what we call question approach. Question approach is also very, very important to you as a candidate. How have you approached the question? How are you phrasing your statements? How are you writing your statements? Still, we have what we call maybe spellings. You need still to master spellings of scientific words, and you know how to write them very well. So, to begin with, since we have said that we are going to basically deal with questions, my first question is listen attentively as you record questions very well, and of course you are not going to give me your responses. I'm going to give you what I've prepared for you. So you write the question. I'm going to read. I'm not going to write. I'm going to read. You write the question, and then you should be even able to write the responses as I give you such responses. So the first question I'm going to read now, I will read through the question only 2 times. The first question is, list down one example of an ectoparasite in cattle. List down one example of an ectoparasite in cattle. Let me hope you are ready. So our responses, all expected responses are 1, mites, 2, fleas, 3, lice, 4, sassaflies. Maybe the word sassafly may be a problem to most of us. Sassaflies. Now we can go to the question B of that number 1. Give 2 ways in which ectoparasites are controlled in cattle. Give 2 ways in which ectoparasites are controlled in cattle. Expected responses or answers. Dipping cattle regularly to kill parasites. Dipping cattle regularly to kill parasites. Response number 2. Response number 2, spraying cattle using acaricides. Spraying cattle using acaricides. Point 3, practicing rotational grazing. Practicing rotational grazing. Number 3, bush clearing to control tsetse flies. Bush clearing to control tsetse flies. Next point, using tick buffers. Using tick buffers to control ticks. Using tick buffers to control ticks. Hand picking, i.e. picking ticks from animals, like more especially cattle. Question number 1, part C. Identify any one cattle disease caused by a protozoa. Identify any one cattle disease caused by a protozoa. Number 1, we have one disease we call trypanosomiasis. Trypanosomiasis, or the simplest word can be nagana. Trypanosomiasis. Then number 2, East Coast fever. East Coast fever. Next one, heart water disease. Heart water disease. Heart water disease. Next one is red water disease. Red water disease. Then lastly, anaplasmosis. Anaplasmosis. Those are 5 examples for those candidates who want to remember easily these 5 diseases which are caused by protozoa. You can use this simple word to help you remember. H standing for heart water disease, E standing for East Coast fever, then A standing for anaplasmosis, R standing for red water disease, then T standing for trypanosomiasis. Question number 2 on our revision program. A, what name is given to a group of non-flowering plants that reproduce by means of seeds? I repeat, what name is given to a group of non-flowering plants that reproduce by means of seeds? The response is conifers or coniferous plants. Conifers or coniferous plants. To B, apart from coniferous plants and ferns, give other two examples of non-flowering plants. Apart from coniferous plants and ferns, give other two examples of non-flowering plants. Our responses. The first one is mosses. 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 Some candidates fail to write that one and they end up writing Moses. But the word is mosses. 2, we have what we call liverworts. Liverworts. 3, hornworts. Hornworts. Then 4, we can have horsetails. 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 C of that question, question C or part C, how is the reproduction of conifers similar to that one of a bean plant? How is the reproduction of conifers similar to that one of a bean plant? So we say both beans and conifers reproduce by means of seeds. Both beans and conifers reproduce by means of seeds. So we go to the next question. We go to the next question. What is a magnet? What is a magnet? I know some of our friends, the candidates, this one is a P7, topic. And I think some of you have already completed that topic. So a question comes saying, what is a magnet? Our response is, or what we expect you to give, a magnet is a piece of metal which has the ability to attract magnetic materials. A magnet is a piece of metal which has the ability to attract magnetic materials. Question B. What name is given to magnets formed using the induction method of making magnets? What name is given to magnets formed using the induction method of making magnets? The response is induced magnets. induced magnets. C of that question, apart from induction method of making magnets, give other two methods of making magnets. Apart from induction method, give other two methods of making magnets. So our responses, we have what we call stroking method. Stroking method. 2, electrical method. Electrical method. Stroking method can still be called touch method. Stroking method can still be called touch method. And stroking method, we have it in two. We have the single touch method or single stroking method. And we have the double touch or double stroking method. Next question. Next question. Which digestive juice is produced in the stomach? Which digestive juice is produced in the stomach? We have now moved back to P5. So the response is gastric juice. Gastric juice. B of that question, write down any two things that happen in the ileum. Write down any two things that happen in the ileum. Two processes that happen in the ileum. The ileum is the lower part of the small intestines. So the processes mostly that happen in the ileum, one is we have what we call digestion of food. Okay. Then we have absorption of digested food. I know some of you are attentive, so let's have some break. I take some water. Thank you.
Uganda Master Gaba abadde atuyitiramu mu bibuuzo ebimu ebyenjawulo naddala mu ssomero ya sayansi nti ebibuuzo bingi ebitubuuzibwa naye mu kuddamu ebibuuzo ne tubiddamu bubi oluusi ne tulemererwa okubanga ansa zaffe oba ezo entuufu ezebawa ebiseera ebisinga obungi tulina okwegendereza nga tuddamu ebibuuzo n'okumanya ansa gye baba baagala okusinziira ku bibuuzo ebyenjawulo ebiba bibuuziddwa nabwe kityo mu nteekateeka eyo olunaku olwaleero njagala okutegeeza nti gwe beera nga ogumiikiriza nga butereevu olaba ojja kusobola butereevu bate okubanga ebisomesebwa obitegeera bulungi era ng'obiddamu bulungi ku mitimbagano gyaffe tujja kuba twongera okuteekako ebibuuzo ebyo ebyenjawulo ebigenda okuba biddibwamu era ebiseera ebisinga obungi naddala ku ssomero lya sayansi tugambye ebibuuzo tunaba tugenda okubanga tugenda kuddamu tujja biteekayo ku mutimbagano ebibuuzo ebyo bitegeere bulungi ate osobole okubanga obigoberera bulungi ansa n'engeri gy'ogiddamu naddala mu bibuuzo ebyenjawulo olw'ensonga nti bwe tugenda mu topic ennamba oyinza okwesangana nga tuyinza ogitambulako okumalako ebbanga lino lyonna kati twagala tukole enteekateeka nga teweetaaga kuyita mu topic yonna wabula ebibuuzo ebiyinza okuba nga bibuuzibwa n'engeri gye birina okuba nga biddibwamu y'ensonga egenda okuba enkulu ennyo naddala mu ssomo lino erya sayansi era nga bwe tukutegeeza nti buli lunaku olwabalaza ne lunaku olwokubiri tujja kuba kusomesa abanaffe abali mu primary nga tutandika n'essomo erya kubala nga tutandise olunaku olwaleero Master Bernard abaddewo ate era n'essomo lye tukuwadde eribadde erya sayansi bali tugenda okuba nga tukuwa. Master Gaba njagala twongere maaso ng'abaana bwe tubawa ebibuuzo ate era ne answers nga bw'obadde otambuza ensonga.
Thank you, Maurice. So now, thank you for viewing, viewers. Now we are going to go through this question. You listen attentively because it involves calculations. It involves calculations because, you know, we still have mathematics in science, and science can also be in mathematics. So let's be attentive and we copy the question very well. So the question says, the temperature in Kampala was 22 degrees Celsius in the morning at 7 a.m. The temperature in Kampala was 22 degrees Celsius in the morning at 7 a.m. and 32 degrees in the afternoon at 1 p.m. What was the difference in temperature rise? Express your answer in degrees Fahrenheit. I repeat, the temperature in Kampala was 22 degrees Celsius in the morning at 7 a.m. and 32 degrees Celsius in the afternoon at 1 p.m. What was the difference in temperature rise? Express your answer in degrees Fahrenheit. Solution. We need to first find the temperature rise, which is temperature rise is equal to high minus low. Our high temperature is 32 degrees Celsius. Our low temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. This gives us 10 degrees Celsius. That's our temperature rise. But as you have heard that the question is asking you to give your answer in degrees Fahrenheit. So we convert 10 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. 10 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. You know, in science, when we are dealing with the calculations, the formula is very, very important. And candidates viewing me right now, whenever they set you a question involving calculation in science, make sure the first thing to write is the formula and you write it properly. So here, the formula we use, because we are converting it for degrees Fahrenheit, we say degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 9 out of 5, 9 out of 5, brackets, degrees centigrade plus 32. Plus 32. Oh, now we remove the brackets and we shall get 9 out of 5 degrees Celsius plus 32. We do the substitution. As we substitute, of course, degrees Fahrenheit we don't have. We have Celsius. So that means we are going to have 9 out of 5 multiplied by 10 degrees Celsius. Then we add 32. We continue this side. So we shall have 9 out of 5 multiplied by 10 plus 32. We divide by crossing common factors. Here 1, here 2. So we have 9 multiplied by 2, that one is 18. Then we add 32. When you add 18 and 32, you get 50 degrees. Of course, we are having Fahrenheit. So we need to conclude our question as it is set. So we say, therefore, the temperature rise was 50 degrees Fahrenheit. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me hope you are following me. And somebody can still use this method. We can use method 2, approach 2. You can use method 2, or you can still approach it in this way, using this method, which maybe, I don't know whether it can be simpler for you. We can say 9C is equal to 5F minus 160. 9C, I mean the method converting from degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit degrees. So here now, when we get this method, we simply substitute. We are having degrees Celsius known here. So we are saying 9 multiplied by 10 is equal to 5F. Which gives us 160. The F we don't know. This one is minus. Sorry, not equal. Minus the Fahrenheit we don't know. For that's what we are looking for. So we have this one becomes 90 equaling to 5F minus 160. Minus 160. We want to remain with the unknown in one side. You know, those who like mathematics, you know how that one is done. So we say 90 plus 160 is equal to 5F minus 160 plus 160. Allow me to rub this. So we are still continuing from here now to here. So now here that means we have 250 equaling to 5F. This one, of course, you know that this one is 0 automatically, you know that. So we don't need to waste our time writing that 0. So we divide both sides by 5. 250 is equal to, divide by 5 here, divide by 5. As we divide by crossing, here 1, here, automatically 50. So we have 50 equaling to F. So we conclude our statement by saying, therefore, the temperature rise was 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Next question. Next question. State down 2 ways how we can make water safe for drinking. State down 2 ways how we can make water safe for drinking. I know this time we are at home, and you know the coronavirus is scaring us. So whenever you are to drink water, make sure you drink water which is boiled and well covered. Don't just leave it open that you have boiled it. Of course, germs will still come and enter after cooling down. So ways how we can make water safe. One is by boiling it. When you boil water, no germ can survive that temperature when you are boiling water. So when you boil it, you have made it safe for drinking. Two, by treating it with chemicals. By treating it with chemicals. Three, by distilling it. By distilling. By distilling it. Next question is, and most of you candidates, you confuse this question. So listen attentively, a reason why I brought this question to you. Why is distilled water not good for drinking? I have not said not safe. Why is distilled water not good for drinking? The reason is it lacks mineral salts. It lacks mineral salts. Some of you confuse it with the why is it not safe for drinking. No, it's why is it not good for drinking. It lacks mineral salts. So how can we then, the next question is, how can we make distilled water good for drinking? How can we make distilled water good for drinking? Our response is by adding mineral salts. By adding mineral salts. You add mineral salts in the water. So our next question is, this one also is also somehow technical. You need to listen attentively and you get to know what to do. Christine was in the kitchen preparing food. She poured salt down accidentally and it mixed with sand. Christine was in the kitchen preparing food. She poured salt down accidentally and it mixed with sand. Write down 4 steps how Sarah would regain the salt. Write down 4 steps how Sarah would regain the salt, or how she can get that salt back. That's what the question means. So the 4 steps, we are beginning with the step number 1. What she was supposed to do, or what she can do to regain that salt. 1 is to put the mixture of salt and sand in a container. The first step is put the mixture of salt and sand in a container. Are we there? Step number 2, add water in the container and stir. And stir until salt dissolves completely. Step number 2, add water in the container and stir until salt dissolves completely. Step number 3, filter the mixture to remove sand particles. Filter the mixture to remove sand particles. Step number 4, the last one. Heat the filtrate. Heat the filtrate. Heat the filtrate until it evaporates to dryness. Heat the filtrate until it evaporates to dryness. Let me run through very quickly the 4 steps. Those who have not been following me, you can get me quickly. Step 1, put the mixture of salt and sand in a container. Step number 2, add water in the container and stir until salt dissolves completely. Step number 3, filter the mixture to remove sand particles. Step number 4, heat the filtrate until it evaporates to dryness. Next question. What is a seedling? I bring these questions because there are some challenges. What is a seedling is our question next. If you are answering that question, you give a response like, a seedling is a young plant that develops from a seed. A seedling is a young plant that develops from a seed. The word developing from a seed is very, very important. If it is developing from any other part of the plant, we don't consider it to be a seedling. B of that question, what type of germination does a pea? What type of germination does a pea undergo? What type of germination does a pea undergo? Most books generalize that all dicotyledonous plants and dicotyledonous seeds undergo epigynous germination. But if you try a pea, the one we call a pea, that one undergoes a hypogynous germination. Right from here, after watching, you can try it. After 1 week, you will prove it. A pea undergoes hypogynous germination. Part C of that question, state down 2 factors under which a seed may fail to germinate when conditions are favorable. State down 2 factors under which a seed may fail to germinate when conditions are favorable. Response 1, when the seed is broken or cracked. When the seed is broken or cracked. When the seed is damaged by pests. When the seed is damaged by pests. When the seed has stayed for more than 3 or more seasons in the store. When the seed has stayed for more than 3 or more seasons in the store. Next response, when the seed embryo is rotten. When the seed embryo is rotten. Next, when the seed is boiled for a short time. When the seed is boiled for a short time. Let me hope we are benefiting. The next question is, how is a queen bee formed? How is a queen bee formed? By feeding, that's the response. It is formed by feeding the grub on royal jelly. Feeding the grub on royal jelly. By feeding a grub on royal jelly. We know what a grub means, that the larva of a queen bee, of bees, is called grub. B, which type of honey? Which type of honeybee? Which type of honeybee is formed from unfertilized eggs? Which type of honeybee is formed from unfertilized eggs? Response, it is called drone bee. Drone bee. Why is, apart from nectar, the word nectar, sometimes people don't, they write O, but it is A, nectar. Apart from nectar, give two other materials collected from the field by worker bees. Apart from nectar, give two other materials collected from the field by worker bees. So worker bees collect water and propolis. Water and propolis. Next question. Why is harvesting of ready crops suitable during the dry season? Why is harvesting of ready crops suitable during the dry season? Response, it is because there is enough sunshine to dry the harvested crops. It is because there is enough sunshine to dry the harvested crops. Next question of B of that question. Give two ways how crop farmers benefit from moving air. Give two ways how crop farmers benefit from moving air. So you need to first know what is moving air. Simple question from P3. Moving air, you know it is wind. So how do crop farmers benefit from wind? The first one is, our first response, moving air helps farmers in winnowing their seeds. Moving air helps farmers in winnowing their seeds. Two, moving air helps to pollinate flowers of farmers' crops. Moving air helps to pollinate flowers of farmers' crops. Next response. Moving air helps to turn windmills to get water from underground for watering crops. Moving air helps to turn windmills to get water from underground for watering crops. Part C of that question, give one biological way of controlling pests in the store. Give one biological way of controlling pests in the store. Biological way. Don't just rush into the question. The trick or the trap is on biological way. So the answer, or we expect you to give, by using a cat to chase away rats. By using a cat to chase away rats or to kill rats. That's the biological way of controlling pests, basically rats in the store. Next question. Next question. What are energy resources? What are energy resources? Energy resources. This one is a topic in P7. But I think by the time we left for our homes, most of us had not talked about energy resources. But I'm bringing it for those who had already talked about it. So what are energy resources? We say energy resources are things in the environment that provide man with useful energy. Energy resources are things in the environment that provide man with useful energy. Or you can say resources are things or are components of the environment that provide man with useful energy. Question B of that, part B of that question, how is wind used as an energy resource? How is wind used as an energy resource? How is wind used as an energy resource? 1. Wind is used in the production of electricity using windmills. Wind is used in the production of electricity using windmills. It means here wind turns windmills in order to produce electricity. There is what you call wind power. However much you may not be having it in Uganda, but it's there. Number 2, it is used in winnowing seeds. It is used by farmers in winnowing seeds. Response number 3, it enables our clothes to dry faster. It enables our clothes to dry faster by increasing the rate of evaporation. It enables our clothes to dry faster by increasing the rate of evaporation. Wind power helps boats to sail on water. Wind power helps boats sail on water. Next response, wind turns windmills to pump water from underground. Wind turns windmills to pump water from underground. C of that question, apart from wind, give other two renewable energy resources. Apart from wind, give other two renewable resources. Apart from wind, give other two renewable energy resources. When we talk about renewable energy resources, there are resources which can be replaced through a natural process. You don't need to say that I'm going to replace it. They are replaced through a natural process. So, renewable energy resources. Here we have one as water is a renewable energy resource. We have plants. 3, we have animals. Water, plants, animals. Of what I've said, apart from wind, we cannot give wind because that one is a disarming question. They first take away what you know, then they ask you to give the rest. So they have disarmed us by taking away wind. So we have to give water, plants, and animals. Next question. Write down two examples. Write down two types of changes in the environment. Write down two types of changes in the environment. Write down two types of changes in the environment. Our responses are, we begin with biological changes. Biological changes. 2, physical changes. Physical changes. 3, chemical changes. Chemical changes. 4, we can have natural changes. Basically, these are weather changes. The natural changes are basically weather changes. So our next question may be almost the last question for now. We say write down two examples of chemical changes in the environment. Write down two examples of chemical changes in the environment. 1 is burning. Burning is a chemical change. Whichever you burn, it cannot come back. So it becomes a chemical change. Rusting of metals. Rusting of metals is a chemical change. Decaying or rotting of organisms, dead organisms, becomes a chemical change because it cannot come back. Then when you boil an egg, it cannot still come back. So boiling an egg or boiling food still becomes a chemical change. We conclude by with this question. State down one positive effect of changes in the environment. State down one positive effect of changes in the environment. Positive effects. So we can say changes in weather help in formation of rain. Rocks are broken to form humus or soil. Dead organisms decompose to form soil. My viewers, this is time. We shall add on any other time when I come back here, back to Morris.
Nzenyo tuyanzege Master Gaba Emmanuel okubanga osobodde okutuwa ate ebibuuzo ate ne answer. Tulaba ku BBS Telefine yaffe kimanye nti buli lwabalaza n'olunaku olwokubiri tujja kuba tetukuwa essomo lya primary nga olunaku lwabalaza tandise ne okubala ne Master Bernard ate tugenda butereevu mu nteekateeka